What's up, everyone? My name is Chris Morrison. I run Predictable Sales. We are a consulting company that help marketing agencies, coaches, and consultants actually drive the type of clients they want into their inbox, get them to convert into paying clients, and help them build teams to scale that up to whatever fucking number they want to. Today, I'm here with my man, Tyler Hoyt. He has been absolutely fucking crushing sales the past couple of months, and wanted to get him on here to give a bit of source and understand what it is that's actually working for him really well right now. Hopefully give a bit of an insight as to how to do the same for yourself and get some killer results. I know that and while we're here, we can chat through this too, right? It's like, dude, you've been signing up like 2 or 3 clients a week.
Yeah, just about 1 to 2 a week for sure. Sometimes I've hit a couple 3 during a week, but yeah, it's been pretty consistent with 1 a week, at least 1. Most days, most weeks 2. So
That's pretty insane, man. Because I was looking through the conversation, like we have like a testimonial chat in our group, like just like internally with our team, right?
mm-hmm.
And honestly, I swear you're getting like just a minute, like here 2,400 this morning. Like every couple of days, it looks like we're getting something from you and Carlos too. You, Carlos, and Julian are the fucking champions right now, right? But it's like every time we turn around, it's you saying, "Yep, another guy, yeah." Oh, and you and you fucking booked in to get a tattoo as well. You funny motherfucker. But it's like every time we turn around, there's a new sale coming through from you or something like that too, right? And dude, there's some fucking source in that somewhere, right? Kick us off, man. Give me, like, for those who are watching, what do you do? And how did you find me? How did you find us?
Yeah, so I run a growth, business growth consulting company for outdoor living businesses. So luxury outdoor builds, focus heavily into that. So we take them through all their process with their business systems, run their marketing, their paid marketing on Facebook, help them grow their business, place people inside of there, and just really help them level up to the next spot of where they want to get to. So that's actually the offer that I started going towards when I met you. We started developing a new offer into that. Before it was a lot of just lead gen stuff. But now that's kind of the offer that we've been selling the last, 3 months with you guys, and been absolutely killing. So I found you through another person. Savannah had gone through your program before, and she's back in your program now. So Savannah and I are super close, and actually too close now because now we're in the same exact niche. But no, she's awesome, and I knew her from before, and it was just, I felt like I was in a spot where I had grown my agency from nothing to about 12K, and then I was kind of stuck. I'm like, all right, now what? I don't know where to go from here. So then I found you.
She's a beast too, right? Like,
Yeah, she's killing right now. She's killing.
She's doing so well. She's about to have a kid too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So Savannah told you about us. Like, did you go and do a deep dive after that?
Did I do? Yeah, I did a little bit. I heard about it before. Savannah told me a bunch, and then I just booked a call with Kyle because I was at a point where, like I said, I was just kind of stuck, and so it's probably Kyle's easiest close ever. But yeah, it was a good call, and yeah, it set me up pretty well. I obviously already heard about you guys and what you guys can do, and followed you in the free group for a while. So yeah, I was already pretty convinced that I needed to be here. So.
Had you gone through and watched anything of ours prior to this?
I believe I watched multiple of your videos, either here or YouTube and stuff, and just kind of got familiar with kind of your style and your vibe and stuff like that, because that's pretty big for me. It's just being with a coach or a mentor that, vibes with me in that way. So that was a pretty natural fit in my mind.
Yeah, cool. That's helpful even for me to understand too, right? Because like you're probably noticing it too, right? The people who you're signing up are probably signing up with you because they like you and the results you get at the same time too. It's not just who can I work with anymore. It's like, who do I feel like I'm going to actually be able to enjoy the time with, going to be able to get a result, and they can prove that they can do the fucking thing too.
Yeah, because I was to a point where I had some good clients, but also had some clients that were not ideal. So the program actually leveling up to where I got to actually allowed me to fire some of those clients and just kind of start fresh, and allowed me the freedom to say, okay, I get to pick and choose who I want to work with. So
that's when you get to that point where you can pick and choose those people, it definitely becomes a different ballgame that you're playing at that point in time.
right. Yeah.
Right.
That's
been my experience. Yeah, that's been my experience, right? Walk me through the numbers then, right? Like I know that you honest to God, I'm seeing every couple of days a new client getting signed up or whatever else that it is, right?
Mhm.
But walk me through the numbers. Like what kind of success have you seen working with us so far? I know that you started at like that 12K, you've dropped a whole bunch of clients that weren't a good fit. But the last time I checked, it must be close to like 45 grand or something.
Yeah. So started with you guys, I was about 14. And then about a weekend, I dropped 2 clients back down to about 10, 11. And then as of today, actually about an hour ago, I'm at 47.
47. Let's go.
Yeah. So signed 2 today, close to today. So I'm at 47.
Yeah, dude, because you came in wanting to get to 50, right?
50 is the ultimate goal. Yep. For this part.
You'll be there next week.
Yeah. I think I told you in the message the other day, right? I was like, I don't plan on not doing that. So
Yeah, dude, that's actually phenomenal, right? Because that's it's like almost 4x.
yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
4x of the actual company, right? Because like from 12 to like we're $1,000 off of 4x.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Now I'm pissed off.
Well, I messaged 2 people today because now I'm like, you could be my 50,000th, whatever, and I was like, get a prize, come sign with me. So that's my pitch right now.
That's like a bonus of some sort. It's okay, you got me to 50K. I don't know, man. I'll come and give you a hug. I don't know
Whatever. Get me there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Cool. So 12 to 48, like there has to have been some things that were holding you back or some lessons that you've learned that you can share with other people and apply at the same time too, right? Like what were some of the biggest challenges that you were experiencing or dealing with before you actually did hop on that call with Carl and listen to his beautiful Canadian voice until you decided to come in?
Yeah, I think one of the big things was just where I was personally, sitting at 12K, feeling comfortable, but not sure whether I wanted to keep going or not. But also, even if I wanted to keep going, felt stuck in the sense of not being organized in my systems. Hustled to get to 12K, and then just didn't have any pipeline, any systems, anything that I can go back on. It was just chasing new clients every single day through cold outreach, which obviously is not ideal. So that's kind of where I was, just kind of stuck on, I knew how to get to where I got to, and then that was about it. Didn't know anything else, and felt like I needed to go somewhere that could help me dial in my content and my messaging and just reach people better. But honestly, there was so much more once I got here that I was like, oh shit, I suck at this. So, but it was cool. It was cool. It was a good experience with Kyle.
Dude, the fact that you got to 12K, I guess just throwing shit at a wall, right? Like hoping for the best. Because that was when I first started this offer, it was just cold calling, right? Like that was the original thing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we figured out like we can literally get people to already know who we are, already know what we do, and already essentially be pre-sold by just putting content out, like the right content out that speaks to a problem on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
I never turned around. I never did anything other than that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had got to like the 10, 12K starting in a beginner program, kind of learning the ropes and what to do and all that stuff. So good guidance there. But once I got to that kind of like that max out level of that, it was kind of like, I don't know where to go next. So, but yeah, I think that the systems that I just dove in and started reading everything, watching everything, and just diving into the spots of like, okay, I suck at this. Let me watch this. I suck at this. Let me watch this. And just started putting them into action. So, but yeah, I mean, it changed. I think that April was that the second month I was here. I think I did 20 something K.
Yeah, that was insane. Because
Yeah.
that was a great first month. That's exactly what you would have needed. And like truthfully, dude, right? Like I can't imagine you had like a huge audience either, right? Like there would have been a buildup of some sort, but so sort of walk me through how you did it in that context too, right?
Yeah. So I had a group of about 3 something. So I had a pretty decent group. I probably had friend requested and added about close to 900, 800, 900 contractors. So I had a decent already following on there, but there was no way for me to connect to them, right? I was just kind of
Right.
posting. I was just posting the, hey, Facebook ads can help you do this. And it was just very generic and blank, you know what I mean? So it wasn't anything connecting to them on a deeper level about what they were feeling and their pain points and how we can help them solve that problem. It was just very much educational, like this can help you in your business, and that's not the way to reach those people. So
Yeah, that's
um,
interesting, right? Because like that's still not a huge audience, right? Like that's like 1,200 people or something. Fucking
yeah,
nuts, right? You just built or you 4x your business with an audience size that most people would deem as nothing,
yeah,
right? Which is awesome, and I think that the amount of people who probably have that or bigger and are still saying I don't have a big enough audience or I have no audience is just fucking insane.
yeah, for sure.
Which is really cool to hear.
It was just about maximizing them, right? And coming in and learning how to actually maximize that, the people that were already there. Because like I said, I was to a point where I had not even gotten back into 800 people that I had messaged before and hit them
Mm,
all up. So I spent, 3 days straight that first week really just dialing in my pipeline.
yep.
And then figuring out like, holy crap, there's like 250 people that I've talked to before that were interested in what I'm doing. And like I stopped the conversation for whatever reason.
Interesting. Um, what do you think helped you the most in terms of the content and sales process part?
I think just learning how to address an issue, right? Like actually taking time to think about what our clients or what my target audience was actually dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and how the lack of, that problem was causing issues in not only their personal and their business, right? And just being able to connect my content to that it was a game changer. It was almost easy to sell at that point, or get it calls at least, because it was not just addressing like leads, right? We were addressing way deeper issues than leads.
Could you give me an example?
Yeah. So one of the big ones I say is like, I wanted to get so deep into conversation that I wanted to figure out if a guy I wanted to basically have somebody say to me that the lack of leads in their business was causing them to miss their son's baseball game, something like that, where we're getting deep into like, okay, there's a family issue here, and we can help you spend more time with your family by hiring team players, right, and doing this stuff. And so getting down to the root of that, like at the end of the day, like we found what worked for me was finding what was most important to people and just marketing to that.
Was there anything that was the most common that you found across that stuff?
I mean, everybody's surface level says like we just need more lead flow. When you dive into it, it's a lot of like, I want to get out of the field and do more office stuff, or we want to be able to hire 2 more team members next year. We want to be able to actually purchase our equipment. So it's a lot of that stuff, logistic wise. But personally wise, like there was a lot of people that wanted to buy a new truck or whatever. Like there was some personal stuff there, and contractors are pretty prideful in the sense like they don't like to talk about themselves a lot, but once we kind of broke that barrier and got down to the personal stuff, like it was pretty good.
Mm, yeah, I like to dub it as like marketing the actual pain point you want in the sales call,
Right.
right? Because if you can market to the actual thing that's happening inside their mind's eye or inside their heart, right? Because like that's the stuff that really gets people to move. And what I've found more often than not is the pain point isn't leads. The pain point, like that's just a thing that they see to be the vehicle toward the actual thing that they actually want.
Yeah.
And in many cases, it's like, dude, the pain point is that they haven't been able to get out of the rut they've been in for X, Y, Z time, or
Yeah.
something to the effect of that, right?
Yeah.
Um, the amount of people that I know that we've worked with that have been up at like 50 grand a month who are back down at 20. And I was like, oh, the pain point is like you don't feel like your identity's been crushed.
Hmm.
You were a 50K per month guy. Now you're a 20K per month guy again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like you need to reclaim now. And as a consequence of that, like there's a step-by-step path to reclaiming, but you need to leave all the like the past shit behind. And if we don't fix that and you don't get past that, you're never going to be able to get up to there or to the 500K that you really want to get to.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing is like the stuff that I got started getting really good at, and Paris pushed me into a lot of that, was like the consequential stuff, right? It was like, not only do you need to do this to help this, but like what happens if you don't?
Totally. right?
That's the stuff that they're like, well, I guess I'll never get there. Right. And it's like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Let's go. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Yeah, and that's it's really good to take that stuff and put it into your marketing. Because if you can
Yeah.
do that, it makes them have that conversation that you would normally have on a call, which can be confronting, but it makes them have that confronting conversation inside their own head
Hmm.
before they even get to you. And when they can connect that hard conversation inside their head to the person that they're about to speak to on a call, by the time you get there, they've already sold themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. The easiest closes are the guys that come into your inbox warm and are like, I've been following you for your stuff for the last few months, and it's just time. Like, I'm ready to go. And it's like, all right, cool, let's do
Let's go.
it. And
Let's
so
go.
you send them a quick VSL and they're already in. So
Let's go. What else, man? What are the other things that were like needle movers that made a big difference for you?
yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things with the pipeline management stuff was huge. And I was so big that I'm actually like a super big like advocate for now. And it's actually part of our offer now, helping contractors with their pipeline management because it was so helpful for us and ours. So that was probably the biggest thing. And that I dove into, like I said, spent like 3 days on my pipeline, went back, had my VA do a bunch of reoffers, a bunch of trainings to people that we haven't talked to in a while, and just started trying to get those conversations started. And I would say probably, I don't know, 30-40% of the closes over the last few months have been from reoffers. So people that I've already talked to before. So that was probably the biggest game changer. And then just things like dialing in, appointment setting. Like, I knew how to message people and get into conversation with them, but conversations would grow stale and conversations wouldn't go anywhere because I actually didn't have an objective in mind of where I wanted that conversation to go until I started doing the appointment setter scripts. And it was like, oh, okay, well, I have to have an end goal in mind. Like, the goal is to get them on a call. So how do we get there? And so just those kind of processes building in, and then obviously like the sales stuff, what were super helpful for me.
Yeah, which is really interesting. I think there is such a huge no, it's not gap in the market, but gap in most people's businesses in the pipeline stuff. It was really interesting. About 2 years ago, I had a mentor who was telling me to not bother with the pipeline as an angle because he thought that people don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about the stuff that is already sitting in their inbox. I was like, I'm not sure that's entirely true because 60% of my money over the past couple of years has come from really good pipeline offers, and we put together a playbook on that. Almost every person that we work with, the most money that they make comes from two places, right? The first one is like making sure that their marketing speaks to driving people who actually are the right fit into their inbox.
Mm-hmm.
If you can nail that, it's fucking impossible for you to lose. But the amount of money that gets left in the inbox after that, because of poor management of that pipeline and knowing how and when to reach back out to those people and having a system for it, is where you'll lose most of your money.
Yeah.
And when I really leaned into that, it was crazy. We had like 7 and 8 figure business owners who were coming to work with us because they were like, dude, we have millions in our pipeline. Come help us get it. And we did.
Yeah.
And dude, people will pay a lot of money to have that shit. So it's smart you put in your offer too. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's smart. I think it helps contractors a lot because it gives them another angle. And we do things like reactivation as like text campaigns and stuff. So it's a natural fit anyway.
Right.
But yeah, for me, it was like being able to send a new offer, and it was natural with the new offer that I was already kind of working on. So, but at the end of the day, like if I'm not gonna, like, I might as well message them all again because the worst case that happens is they don't message me back. And the
Yeah.
best case is that I close $40,000. So it's like that doesn't make any sense not to for me.
Dude, because that's it's not 40,000 you closed. Like that's 40,000 in addition
MRR.
to
Yeah.
recurring revenue that you close, right? Like that's a huge difference. How has that changed stuff for you guys outside of life? Outside of the business in life in particular.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's made me a lot, more. It's given me a lot more security in my personal life, being having the freedom to, book trips or buy things that we need to buy and dress needs and do that stuff, save for house. And I know when I came in, I was actually just looking at my onboarding document before I got here, and just looking at like what the goals were before I, you know, when we started this, and one of them was like to save her a house, and we're in the process of doing that. And one of them was to have my wife convinced that she didn't have to go work anymore, and done that. Like she's still working because she likes to work, but she doesn't have to, right? And so certain things like that we're booking. I booked. I got a booth at a big hardscape convention in Louisville, and it's like, having the flexibility and money to do those types of things to continue, one, to build the business, and two, just to actually live life the way we want to live it is cool.
That's the stuff I care about more than helping you make sales.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, like I've always cared about that stuff more, right? Like the mission of the company is to help men fix the conversation at the dinner table where wifey looks at them and asks like, "Hey, when's this going to turn around?" Right, and like that's always been the biggest thing for me. Dude, I'm so happy for that. That's fucking unreal, man. That's so sick. That's so sick. Where are you based?
I'm in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah,
So.
I thought it was I thought it was Idaho, and I thought it was Boise too. We have another client there. His name is Sky, but that's where like Russell Brunson and stuff are too, right? That's where
ClickFunnels is down the street from me. Yeah.
Yeah. I was chatting to one of the guys in the inner circle last night actually, but the like one of our clients, Sky, he keeps telling me like Boise's the shit. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm not hearing a whole lot of fucking great things happening there, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, the city itself is really nice. It's pretty. It's beautiful, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like living here, but I like to travel too. So
yeah, are you gonna come see us in Vegas?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there's a good chance that I make it. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a Vegas event and an Arizona event coming up in the next couple of months, so you should definitely come on to both of them. Like, if you can come to either or, man, please, we'd love to have you there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, think about the Vegas one for sure. It's timing wise, it works out well. So
yeah, cool. Dude, talk to me. What would you say to someone who is thinking of joining us, or who's watching this video right now, who's possibly struggling with the same things you were dealing with before you came in?
I mean, I think if one thing for me was, and I think I talked to you about this, was just my mindset coming in of, I call it the no other option mindset of like, I'm not going to, I'm here to make 50K. I'm not going to not let it happen. And so just having that mindset, and I get a little extreme with this sometimes, like this is life or death. I'm going to make 50K. Like, are you going to do it? So, but I think having that mindset is one, like if you have that mindset, you're going to be successful because you're going to put in the work necessary to do that. But I think having an open mind, just coming in and being like, I could have come in at 12K and been like, hey, I knew how to get to 12K. I did things a certain way. I'm going to keep doing them. But having an open mind of like, hey, this is a new way to do this. This is, having the humility to be like, I'm just going to listen and absorb as much knowledge as possible and be like, whatever Chris and Ferris and Kyle tell me to do, like, I'm just going to go do it. Because I trust that, right? And so I think that if you're struggling with that stuff, be here, like be invested in it, and like dive in and just listen to what you guys have to say. And I mean, you'll be successful because the stuff that you tell us to do works, and pipeline stuff and the scripts and all that stuff. Like just apply them and they work. Because there was even a time when even during this, I had been closing a bunch, and then I went away from a couple of scripts. And then I noticed like I wasn't closing as much. And Paris like, dude, go back to the script. I was like, all right. So went back to the scripts and kind of refocused myself and started closing more again. So I think just one, put your mind to it that you want to have a goal in mind, and don't take no for an answer. Like get there. It's the biggest thing.
Always something that you even just suggested then too, right? It's like sometimes the biggest help is having someone realize that we're off course and pointing us back in the right direction.
Sure. Yeah. Mentorship and coaching is huge. I mean, when we build businesses, and especially early on, like we're by ourselves a lot. And, I coach high school basketball. I played college basketball. Like I'm so used to a team environment that anything doing with like me motivating myself is really difficult.
Interesting.
Like working out by myself, really hard to do. Right. And so just because I've grown up for 30 years playing a team environment, it's really hard for me to do things on my own. So having coaches and mentors to, talk to, bounce things off, and keep me straight and hold me accountable to things is probably the reason that I've grown to where I am.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was interesting because I had the opposite when I was younger. It was everything that was just me, and then I had to go into a team environment, which was an entirely different thing for me.
Yeah.
Which is it's funny the different early life experiences that make the difference, right?
For sure.
Dude, thank you so much for coming to catch up and do this too, right? You actually gave me some really cool insights to even just the no other option mindset, right? Like that's something that I wish more people would adopt,
Yeah.
right? Because it is something that like you can take that to the bank, right? Like if all else fails, if you just do things with the intention of like no other, it's actually really funny too, right? It's like I actually have something here. It's like no other option,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that's got nothing to do with you. This is like it's just funny. Like we think the same in that context, right?
Yeah.
I'm always thinking like I'm like, dude, this is not the case. But it's like work like you have $0 in the bank account. Work like there's no option but to make this work. And there's pride and courage in working like that every single day. Even if you have 6 figures in the bank, there's pride and courage in doing it in that way.
Yeah. And I think what worked for me was I was in that spot where I was when I started the agency, it was like I didn't have anything, right? So I'm still working that way, like I still don't have anything. Subconsciously, it's just me grinding in the back of my head, like always hustling, right? But it's just mindset like that. Like I think you mentioned, like the outwork bad days thing. It's like really stuck with me. I'm getting it freaking tattooed on my arm next week.
I
So
love that shit, man. You made me want because I've got the Widwork, right? The
yeah,
what I did work out, and I'm thinking about getting outwork bad days on this hand now.
I'm getting it full forearm right here. So
That's so good. We've got like probably 5 or 6 clients that have gotten this just
nice.
somewhere on their body too, right?
Yeah.
Man, I fucking love that. Like, let's go. That's
Yeah.
that's the coolest.
So I'll definitely share that. But yeah, that stuff stuck with me. But it's a good reminder just to look at my arm every day and be like, you got here because you just worked your ass off all the time. So
I love that, man. I love that. Where can people learn more about you, what you do? Because we have a whole lot of people in the audience that can probably come and learn a whole lot of shit off you too, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm starting to grow the socials a little more. I got an Instagram now at the Tyler Hoyt. My Facebook, obviously, super active on there. You can add me, chat with me on there. Definitely willing to do that. Website's going up this week again. So starting to get some of that stuff, but I'll make sure I shout you out and maybe reshare that so people can find me. But if anybody has any questions, they could definitely reach out. I'm always happy to talk to people and help them through wherever they're at. And but yeah, I'm just trying to grow that part of my game now and get even more advanced into organic game and start doing some reels and cool content and stuff like that. So it's fun, man.
Let's go, man. Thank you so much for this. Anything last to share for the people who are watching?
No, I mean, like I said, if you guys are struggling with a lot of that system stuff, or you need a little push to get you to that next level, like definitely hit up Chris, hit up Kyle, Ferris. Like they'll get you straight. I think I've already sent one guy in here. Zach's joined us here as well.
Zach, yeah, you did. Yeah, he looks like he's doing great already too, which is
yeah.
awesome.
I talked to him the other day, just asked him how it was, and I could tell from when I talked to him, he reached out about his business, and I was just like, hey, I know exactly where you need to be, dude. So yeah, I'm not shy to send people where they need to go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that too, man. That's like I like it means a lot. Thank you so much.
Sure, for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna say it for us then. The last thing we should both say is like for everyone watching, they should outwork bad days.
Outwork bad days, man.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope it was tactical enough for you. I hope the scripts help, and I hope you actually get everything you want out of it. Now, if you are a high-ticket business owner and you would like to learn how we are helping our clients build 100K per month businesses, $1 million businesses, agencies, consulting companies, et cetera, and fix the main 3 points that most people are suffering with inside the business right now, which is volume of calls not being high enough, quality of calls not being high enough, those calls not converting, and then not having the right systems and procedures to get yourself out of the day-to-day and have good team come in. I want you to go and check this training out. It's the first thing to actually click on below. It is a step-by-step training on how we're actually helping clients fix those 3 problems, i.e. getting the right people on call, getting enough call volume for them, with people who know who you are, know what you do, actually trust you, and you can actually see the step-by-step content that we use, the actual scripting, and the actual way to pre-convert people before they get to a call as well. Watch it, implement, build $1 million business, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.